people are concerned about Chinese AI called DeepSeek. The market has reacted very poorly. What is going on, my friend?
Yeah, this one's okay. So headline: BTC loses 100K as market hit with aggressive sell-off after Chinese DeepSeek AI launches. So I was looking at 3 articles around this one. So the first one coming from Chamath, which is talking about, so DeepSeek is an AI model that came out of China, and the reason that it's causing a big stir is it largely it's just proving, well, at least there's some conspiracies because it is China, so like everything can't be trusted wholly, but everyone is freaking out because this AI model came out and it's bigger, better, badder on less, right? So if you get on less being like hardware and costs on all this stuff, resources, and 1, people don't know if that's true, and 2, if that is true, then it means all these billions of dollars that people have been burning to do this shit has frankly not been not going to be well received. If you just see like, oh, a scrappy young team out of a foreign country comes in and just crushes everyone. So there's a couple of conspiracies around this. One is that like it's a Chinese plant to like get people to install a bunch of shit in America because it's the biggest, baddest AI. That's just like what, cheap, whatever. But going through the 3 articles, like these are the things that we can deduce based on the current information. So Chamath's talking about, okay, the reason it's so successful is because they changed the reward model of the actual AI itself. So previously, the AIs, as they train themselves, they could get like reward hacked, is what they call it. And that just means like it could optimize for its own rewards. And because of it doing that, it didn't necessarily lead to it being better. It just like got its reward better. So they restructured it to do it based on like it's an iterative structure based on like it producing its own structured responses. And then the accuracy of those responses allowed for it to like continue to grow in the way based on this data set, continue to grow in a way that was very productive and led to a better model overall, right? So like it was just a unique twist on how it was rewarding itself versus just like raw, like, engineering prowess, whatever. So that's one of the speculations on how they're doing it. Again, I don't think they have access to the actual code itself. So no one knows for sure. That's just like the things we've come to understand. 2 major implications of this. One is it means the cost of building foundational models is going to go downhill fast. So this stuff's going to be commoditized basically. And that means everyone that's been, again, spending billions of dollars in data centers and stuff is going to get a cold, hard look at themselves. All these investors are like, dude, we just spent, our entire net worth on you because we thought you were going to be the next, open AI. But it turns out these scrappy teenagers from China are dunking on you and like everything is worthless now. Or like, again, China is completely lying about this and it's just a way to infiltrate America, right? It's just a way for them to get people to install a bunch of shit on their computers. So like, approach it with caution. And then Santi actually, he commented on this as well. And he said, like, just with this next AI wave, it's going to be more about scrutiny on how AI is going to impact the bottom line of a lot of these companies. Now, he didn't say it explicitly. Like, one is just like, yeah, like some companies spent a bunch of money on this. So it could be on just general CapEx, where like, how much did you spend the last quarter, half a year, whatever, on trying to up your AI game, and then did you just like liquidate your treasury basically effectively? Or like I wonder if there's going to be a human angle to this, of there's going to be scrutiny coming down to like a resistance from the government that says, hey, you're doing all this AI shit so you can get rid of all your humans, and like that's maybe not great for us as a country. So don't do that. And like, again, how much effort are you putting into that? Like, is robotics, so it's not the same, but are you McDonald's and you have 100,000 stores in America and you're trying to get rid of all the people at the counter because you want to put a robot arm there that can do this shit? Again, robot versus AI, but still like the same principle of like, are we putting a lot of humans out of jobs? What's the long-term effect of that? Again, I don't know if that's what Santi's getting at specifically, or if it's just burning your money to actually have AI within your company, like to home grow some stuff. But in general, like, again, this thing has come out. It's scaring a lot of people. A lot of money has been wasted because this race has been on, as we've seen, every other week there's a new model that comes out. I've switched from Claude to OpenAI to, to Perplexity to whatever. And whoever comes out with the biggest, baddest thing is going to have probably a little bit of a power law associated to it. And if you can have a true edge, then yeah, you gain a lot of attention. So,
Legendary, you just come in first, and then I have some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple more info on the success of DeepSeek. Hit number 1 in the App Store. they are marketing it also very, very aggressively. If you take a look at the website, literally on the top it says DeepSeek is live and open source, rivaling OpenAI's Model O1, available on the web app and API. I think one of the things that I've been playing around with it over the last day that's very impressive with it is the speed that it answers your prompts with, because similarly to O1, if you've been using that model, you know that you can basically look into ChatGPT's thinking process, where it is kind of trying to figure out what you said and how it should reply to that. And DeepSeek does the same, but it does it extremely, extremely fast. So basically, I asked DeepSeek the question, can it be the case that training for DeepSeek was so cheap at 5 to 6 mil? And it's like, you get an instantaneous thought process. And the moment that the thinking is finished, which you see live without any delay, you have your answer, which is very, very in-depth ready. So it's just from a user experience perspective, it looks and feels, because obviously a lot of us won't understand like the differences in computing and coding and mathematical problems, but just because of the speed of the user experience and comparing the look and feel of the answers and the thought process makes for a very impressive first appearance of DeepSeek as well.
I know there was a clip that came out I think it was this weekend. I just remember seeing one. It was a younger person from DeepSeek talking about the actual thing. It's like, oh, like the narrative is it's a small, scrappy team. They don't have a lot of hardware. It's just like, oh, she's so efficient, so good, so whatever. But they're like, oh, we have 100,000 GPUs that we can't actually talk about because of some not immigration, but import tax rules or whatever. So like that's the big thing of like Legend just said, this thing's very impressive. It's very responsive. It's very powerful. Like you probably need a lot of hardware to do that kind of stuff. So people are skeptical that it's, a homegrown shop with some startup guys actually just doing this stuff. It's not like funded by the deep state that has, a gorillion of these hardware pieces tucked in the back that are actually doing all of this stuff. And, it's just, there's some skepticism there.
Great points. To kind of take it further, I know people have responded the market has responded very poorly to this, and maybe justified in the sense that there was probably an AI bubble going on, and yes, people were overspending and it was potentially getting very, very inflated, right? But I think maybe in the medium to long term, I've seen a couple smart people share a thought like this, which I'm about to share on screen, which is by G Money. He said, this DeepSeek model is short-term negative for AI sentiment. So yes, in the near term, the people who've spent, I can't remember how you described it, Brad, but like overspent, spent the house on, thrown the kitchen sink. I don't know why I'm going through various items in the house. But people who've overspent an AI, it will be bad because you've overspent, and that's not good. However, long term, it is bullish as the cost of models will go down. So that should be better for people in the long term. And the capex will be spent on the next leg of the AI arms race. So DeepSeek being
remember, like this stuff brings down the production cost of basically everything, right? So like that's broadly how I view AI is because models come forward. It did originally with OpenAI, right? ChatGPT. The production cost of writing a program, the production cost of generating an image, the production cost of like the human production cost of doing this stuff came down massively across the board. So yes, like the actual production cost of the models themselves is very robust, and people are again burning down the house with all like their entire treasury is going out the back door because they want to either acquire GPUs or they want to, buy the brightest minds in the world, right? People are saying like, oh, 4 of our top 5 members of our company are making more in salary than the entire team of the DeepSeek team, right? So it's like people are spending a shit ton of money on this stuff and hardware and people and everything, right, to do this. And it's very pointed at the thing that's being created, which is the model, but the human production costs go down basically across the board. You and I can do AI audio or not audio captions on a video after the fact super quick, right? The production cost of us to create that content, to do that thing, is going down across the board. So that's why we're seeing the proliferation of so much shit, because everything else that is human is coming down production cost wise, but the production cost of the actual models themselves is gargantuan and going higher. But if this can be commoditized too, then yeah, it just continues the trend of everything being commoditized, including, just the things that we produce.